I want to say this took longer than I expected, but at the same time, I kind of knew it would take ages, and I just went for it anyway. So we live in a hotel right now. I'm sure by the time I post this video, the moving video with its stunning conclusion will already be out. Right now, I don't know what that conclusion is. I don't know. But regardless of when we finally close on this house, we still have a period of like 10 to 14 days after that in which they're going to be scraping the popcorn ceilings that possibly have asbestos in them. Yay for the 60s! And during that time, we not only can't move into our house, but like we can't even go into the house at all. It's going to be a hazmat suit zone. But yeah, we've been in this hotel for like 5 days, and I'm already going crazy from lack of project. I brought embroidery, I've been working on this thing, I've been working on my sashiko, I've been editing videos. It's not enough. I desperately want to do a project, to make a thing. I want to be doing something. I started looking at some possible decor and organization options for my upcoming sewing studio, and in that whole mess of digging around, I came across these rugs, and I love them. But here's the thing. I'm a little hesitant to purchase things off of, shall we say, big scale websites that I haven't heard of that quite possibly maybe stole these designs from a small business or creator. So I dug around a lot trying to find like an original creator or somebody who was actually making these by hand and not underpaying laborers in another country to do it for them. But it was really hard to tell who was doing it, what ways. It got overwhelming doing the research, and my brain went boing! You could just make it yourself. What a great solution. Except that I have no idea how to make it, or I didn't have any idea until I just looked it up. There's basically two ways. You can either tuft a rug. I've heard of this, I know what this is, but it does seem like it requires a lot of equipment, like a tufting gun and like a frame to hang everything up on. The other option is latch hooking a rug. Now this I know, because when we were kids and my mom would get us crafting kits all the time to encourage us to make things, we did latch hooking. That is not to say that I know how to make that rug in this method, but we're gonna find out, because you know what I realized? This very slow process that uses no sewing supplies would be the perfect thing to do in a hotel that I'm stuck in for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, I don't have any of these supplies. I no longer have a latch hook or, you know, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. The stuff you latch hook on. I have some yarn, but it's all in storage. So my first step is going to be buying supplies. I'm really excited because I think if it works, it'll be super cute. Let's do it!
Tomorrow.
Alrighty, so we have closed on the house, many huzzahs, and the clock has started on the lovely team of men scraping the cancerous dust off the ceiling. Yay! So I have come to the land of Michael to buy supplies. I'm guessing I just need a latch hook, the rug material, like the cross hatch stuff that I can never think of the name of, and yarn. But I might also have to buy a pair of scissors, because the only pair that I brought with me to the hotel are fairly small. You won't need your sewing scissors, I told myself. Just pack those. There's no music playing. Creepy. Well, that was a total bust. I walked around that entire store and could not find any latch hook stuff. They had crocheting, knitting, weaving, even tufting, but I couldn't even find like a kid's latch hook kit. Also, none of their yarn was on sale, so I couldn't bring myself to do it. We're off to Joanne. She better save the day. Round 2, let's hope for better results this time. Y'all, there's also like no music playing in this store and I'm kind of loving it. Y'all, apparently no one is into latch hooking right now because these things are all on clearance. That's what I need though. This is what I'm talking about. Score! Should have just gone to Joann in the first place. I got everything that I needed, except that I forgot to buy scissors, but oh well, I'll just use the little ones. And since I'm not picky about yarn, color, or type or anything, I pretty much only bought the clearance yarn, which was also double clearance with an extra sale. So is this rug still gonna end up costing me more than if I had gotten it off of some cheap website online? Yes, but I at least got everything on sale. They had the latch hook canvas. I got 2 because these are each 3 feet by 5 feet. That's already pretty big. These were the only ones that I bought not on clearance. They were still on sale, but I wanted to get one more green right now. This is definitely not all the yarn I'm gonna end up buying for this. There will be lots more. It's extremely understandable why the not sketchy cheap website ones are really expensive. It's a lot of materials, and even if you're tufting it instead of latch hooking, which I'm assuming would be way faster, it's a lot of work. So where do I want to start? This is not pleasant to touch, and it is also very creased. Do I need to steam this or something? I think I'm gonna have to get like gloves to wear while working on this, because this stuff will take your skin off. As usual, my perception of size was not great. This is pretty darn big. I don't know that I'll be making a rug bigger than this. And my plan here, is to not really plan anything out. These rugs tend to be just sort of clumps of the different yarn types and the different colors. So I think I'm just gonna start with one color, cut it all up, make a clump, and see what that looks like. There's also some other techniques you can use. Like I watched one video where she made pom-poms and then stuck those on in certain places because it gives like a different texture. So I might do that as well. I don't know, but I gotta flatten this first. How am I gonna do this? Okay, we don't have a lot of space for this kind of activity. I'm just gonna try dancing on it a bit. Ooh, that's actually kind of working. Okay, no, it's not. What if I stretch it? Do you want to dance on it with me? No. Okay, well that helped a little. So I'm definitely gonna start with this stuff because this is fun. But I feel like I should test the length before I start cutting all of it. How long is this? The length of the remote. Perfect. This is gonna be so hard to work on the center of this. How do you do it? Oh, interesting. Oh, very interesting. This latch hook almost doesn't fit through here. First one. I feel like if I do it this long, I'm gonna come back and have to cut it off way shorter. Let's try this again. This is why we test. That was the length of the remote. What if I do half the length of the remote? Such good measuring. You know, I do have a ruler. That's the irony here. I did actually pack a ruler. That's a good length. That was 2/3 a remote length. Perfect. Now I'm gonna cut a bunch of yarn. Exciting. You need to go away again. Just go away. Go away again. Go somewhere else. That's just one.
What are you doing?
Making rug. Okay, I love that. It's very soft. Okay, so I did a slight bit of research last night, aka I got on Amazon and realized that there are different sizes of latch hook. So I just ordered some more in various sizes. Since this one is like a little bit too big for the cross hatches of my canvas, I'm ending up like ripping it a lot, which I don't want to do. So I am waiting on those, and I really need to get some better scissors. I thought in the meantime, I'll try making a pom-pom. For some reason, we used to do it when we were kids. We would always do the method where you just wrap yarn around your hand a ton, and then you loop a thread through the center, tie it in a knot, and then you cut all the loops. And if you've made your original wrap big enough, you'll have a nice, like, round, fluffy ball in the end. I also realized last night while on Instagram that there are 2 artists that I already follow who do, like, legit versions of this, like tapestries, rugs, artwork that looks like terrain, or sometimes it's like coral, glaciers, rocks, a lot of different things. Their work is incredibly inspiring, so I highly suggest you go give them a follow, and I'll link both of their websites in the description down below. But one is, I wrote it down because their names are both kind of hard for me to pronounce. Alexandra Kiheoglu. I'm very sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. She's done so many different types of terrain, and I mean, God, oh my God, it's gorgeous. And then Vanessa, she's Portuguese, so I'm gonna use my knowledge of Portuguese to pronounce this last name. Barragão, maybe? I remember seeing some of her artwork probably years ago. I think I've been following her for a long time, and oh my God. It's just so pretty. Give them a follow, go check out their artwork. They are very inspiring, even though my little moss rug I don't think is going to end up looking anything like that. I do not like unwinding yarn, but I'm pretty sure somebody is going to tell me in the comments that there's a piece you're supposed to pull out of the center. Yep. Found it. Well, it's too late now. I'll do that on the next one. I should know better, because embroidery skeins are just like this. You have to pull it out of a certain side or you're just gonna be kicking yourself. Oh boy. As long as I don't accidentally call 911 doing this, we're okay. Come on, be good to me. I don't think I thought this through as much as I potentially should have. Oh, there it is. Whew, all right. Oh God, this is bringing back so many memories. I need somebody's finger. Help. Did I mention that I need better scissors? Oh, that's so cute. I'm so excited about this now. This is so fun. Ah!
Is that my pom-pom? Did you steal it? Oh, you're so happy. Can I have it back? Thank you. Good catch.
Can I open that?
This is nice and small. So the only question with this is the hook too small? Come on. Okay. Ow. What am I doing wrong? What the flying f? That's how you're supposed to work. All right. Good times. Positioning is a problem. Maybe I should do this on the bed. Is this gonna work, my little baby butt? Ow! Can you find me something to wear on my hands? Yo, I love it so much! The textures are amazing. But that's all I've done, and I have so much more to go. I think I'm gonna go ahead and draw out an outline so I at least have some form of guidance. Do I have a Sharpie? To be honest, I'm not very sure about this color just because these are looking so good together and this is just an entirely different color scheme. It kind of just looks bad. I don't know, actually. On camera it doesn't look as bad as it does through my eyes. I don't know. I might not use this. Anyway, this is gonna take ages, so let's plow ahead. I got more yarn! So here's what I've learned in latch hooking today. Don't use this kind of yarn. It's so soft and it has such a good texture and I thought it would be so cool, and honestly, it looks so cool. I love it, but all the little bits just come straight off of like the center cord. See, it's all here. Ah, Lord. We have learned things today. Good times. Minky, are we moving in? Where's Daddy? It's moving in day. We checked out of the hotel. The truck is gonna be here in like 15 minutes, hopefully. All of our furniture will finally be in the house, and tonight we're gonna spend the night in the house for the first time. Yay! Also, the rug is here. Work shall continue on it because we are getting the floors done. Beep, beep, beep. We're getting the floors done in the living rooms this entire next week, and there's gonna be contractors stomping around, so I'm just gonna keep working on the rug and hopefully finish it by the time the floors are done. Good morning. I slept in my own bed last night. I made myself a cup of coffee. It's been 3 weeks. Oh, it is nice to get settled. The movers were here yesterday. They brought all of our belongings. The house is now a disaster zone. But right now, before there are people in our house, I thought I would take a moment to share all of the tips and tricks that I have figured out so far. I'm guessing there are a lot of people, a lot of you out there, who would also like to make yourself a moss rug. I highly recommend it. I say go for it. Real talk, if I was gonna make a second moss rug for whatever reason, I would not be latch hooking it by hand. I'd be like, okay, I guess it's time to invest in tufting materials. But that's not because I'm not enjoying the process. It's just because like, once is kind of enough. I think if you're going for a smaller rug and you really don't want to get into the latch hooking, just making a bunch of pom-poms of the different colors and different textures of yarn, make them all different sizes, and then tying them onto the canvas, like that is a totally workable option. It'll have a slightly different look, but I think it'll still have an adorable look. And quite frankly, people say making pom-poms takes forever, but it is a heck of a lot faster than latch hooking. So that's my first tip. Latch hook, yeah, go for it. Don't want to do that? Try pom-pom. If you already have tufting supplies for some reason, then tuft it. First real tip though, size matters. So this first latch hook that I was using was definitely too big for the canvas size that I was using. So like I said earlier, oh, you gonna leave now? Bye. Bye. Anyway, so it was ripping a lot of the canvas when I was trying to yank it through. However, then I switched to this one, which is perfect for the canvas size, but it was too small for the yarn that I was using, so it was almost impossible to like yank it through at the end. So you do want to use one that is the proper size for the canvas that you have, but whatever size you're using, you need to make sure that your yarn is also that size. And that's not to say you can't get bigger yarn. So my brown yarn, I've been separating into the 4 different strands. The green yarn comes in 2 strands, separating it. On the other hand, a typical yarn like the tan yarn and the light green yarn that I'm using, just kind of your standard yarn size, is thin enough that I can do 2 of those at one time. And that just makes it thicker so I don't have to do as many hooks, if that makes sense. Next tip, if you're working on a blank canvas, you might want to get some gloves of some kind. Matt went out and got me cycling gloves, like these. Well, not like these, he got me these. Right at the beginning, when there's nothing on your canvas, that thing is sharp, it is abrasive, it will rub the skin off your knuckles and your forearms, quite frankly. So you kind of want to cover as much skin as possible so that you don't bleed for your project. However, once you've got some stuff on there, that goes away pretty fast. Because next tip, you want to be latch hooking upward. You want the work that you've done to be behind the work that you're doing. First of all, because when you put the latch hook in, you don't want anything in front of it here, because the hook will catch on any yarn that is in front of it. And then when you're trying to come back through, it's trying to pull a piece of yarn that's a completely different piece of yarn. It becomes impossible. You shred things up. It's not great. So you want the finished yarn that you've already attached to be on this side. So you're just squishing the handle into it, not trying to squish the actual hook into it. The bonus benefit of that is that once you have a section finished, you're no longer putting your hands up against the raw canvas. And finally, don't work on a flat surface. It's actually easier if you've got like a bit of a curve in the section you're working on. So I used a pillow and I wrapped the canvas around the pillow so that the section that I was working on was kind of right on the edge here, just getting like the slightest curve of the pillow. I felt like I had one more bonus tip and now I've forgotten what it is. Oh, that was my other one. Save all your off-cuttings. Everything you trim off, it's stuffing. So this is my off-cuttings bag right now. It's like that full. So I actually have a bit of a follow-up project for this that I might use this for stuffing for. But yeah, don't throw it away. Save it. It's great stuffing. Can I drink my coffee now? I've been waiting 3 weeks. Oh, I've missed that. Okay, I think that is all of the tips and tricks I've learned so far. Maybe I'll learn another. I'll let you know. It's hooking time. We're going with it. After ages and ages and ages, the last section has been hooked and it is time to trim it. Pause while I trim other things. And then the rug will be done. Yay! I take all of that back. It won't be done once I trim this because I still have to back the whole thing. Hi! Hello! Let's trim. Gotta get low. I think that'll do. This has been a process. I'm really pleased with it though. So here is my backing plan. Generally, you're supposed to talk after you say something like that. I'm going to cut all the way around in the shape that I have, leaving an overhang of, in some places, probably just as much as I have left, but where I have bigger chunks, I don't know, maybe like 2 inches. And then I'm going to, score? That's not the right word. Wow, this is a sewing term that I just lose all the time. I'm gonna cut notches because it's curved all the way around so that I can fold that extra material under, and then I'm going to take yarn and literally whip stitch it down on the back of the rug so it has nice folded edges all the way around, and it's less likely that the canvas will break on the edges or that anything will come untied from the edges. Hopefully. Then my plan is to use felt to back it, just because I already have felt. I got some spray fabric adhesive and I'm gonna spray down the felt, stick the mat on top just so that it won't be sliding around, so that it's secure on there. But then I'm going to go around the entire outer edge and whip stitch through the felt and through the folded edge of the canvas, so there's a nice clean edge that hopefully will not like stab you in the toes or fall apart. That's the plan anyway. If it worked, then I'm sure you just saw clips of it happening. So let's just jump on to that final product and take a look at it. Yes, shall we? Yay! Oh, thanks. You're so helpful. No. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're such a helpful baby. Can you go away? Oh. Okay. Do you like to be where the attention is? Come here. Come over here. You can lay on it once I turn it over. Come over here. Good boy. No. Bubby. Bubby, Bubby, Bubby. You're so silly. Come here. Come right here. Can you sit? No. Come here. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Yay. Oh, that was dangerous. Ha ha. Tricked ya. Boink. Where'd she go? Okay, now you can lay on it. There you go. Oh. You're so cute. Alright, y'all. I have a feeling this video is already very long, so I'm gonna make this quick. I love it. It's amazing. No regrets. A little constructive criticism for myself, because I always love that. I think it would have looked a little bit better if I had used maybe like one less color. I think there's a few too many different colors, different types of yarn in here. I also think my little like water section didn't really turn out super well. Like it doesn't really read as water because I think you need it to be shorter than everything around it. So it looks like, you know, it sinks into water. And I'm afraid to cut it any shorter because it's latch hooked. I think if it was a tufted rug, I could cut that really short and be safe, but I'm afraid to cut it much shorter than it is because I don't want to be cutting into the knot and releasing it all. But it's all good. My favorite part is my little stones. They're so cute. I think the stones and the brown really does add to it instead of it just being like solid green all the way across. Some general wrap-up info that I thought you might want to know. How much did I spend on it? I spent about $200 on supplies, but I didn't use all of those supplies. I ended up using only one of the 6 latch hooks that I bought. I didn't use my second canvas. And then there were several skeins of yarn that I didn't end up touching because I didn't like the color or the type of yarn just didn't work for it. So I'm gonna estimate that I actually only spent like $150 maybe, which is not bad. $150, 3 weeks of labor. There's the rub. And finally, how much yarn did I use for this basically 3-foot by 5-foot rug? It was a little hard to tell because I did like 3 different shopping trips, but to the best of my estimation, I used 21 skeins of yarn and 7 of those skeins I didn't finish. So I have this much left, but overall, 21 used, 14 of those completely used, 7 of those partially used. Quite a lot of yarn. And that's it. I said I'm gonna make it quick, so I'm gonna make it quick. It was awesome, it was fun. I highly suggest that you make yourself one if you're into that, if you want something whimsical, if you're looking for a fun project. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's also just really soft and fun. Obviously, the puppy has started loving it. It's a joy. Make yourself one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. I'm looking forward to getting back into some sewing projects once I find my sewing machine among the mess of boxes that are in that room right now. That's gonna be fun. I'm also looking forward to doing more non-sewing projects like this. It was really fun to do something that was not sewing or embroidery, and it's been a while since I branched off into another area. So leave suggestions in the comments if there's like something else that you think I should try out. I already have a really long list, but I don't mind adding to it. And with that, have a glorious day. Big hugs to all of you. Later, taters. Dry flat. Yeah. That seems wise. Oh god, it's so sharp. Disaster.
My yarn.
Okay, don't judge me here. I'm gonna use my toe. You do what you gotta do when you're alone. Cramp.
Stop getting caught on stuff.
Weird.
Oh, it is a big yawn.
$150. Ow.
Yeah.
Puppy.
It's fine.